report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. You got Craig and TK and Heather D tuned in at the fish report.
Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Tune in to the fish report.
Welcome, everyone, to another Fish Report Live. I'm Craig Fissinger. That is Ken Francis. We're your hosts tonight. And back in the sound room are our buddies TK and Heavy D, going to be joining those two guys a little bit later in the show. And Ken, I was driving around Russia tonight. I was driving around Fort Laramie the other day. I noticed a lot of cross-country volleyball signs going up. Must be that time of year.
It's that time of year, Craig. It's hard to believe the leaves are falling. It's October. The baseball playoffs are going on. The Cubs are choking, and the high school sports are coming to the postseason run here. We've got cross country, we got volleyball, football just around the corner, and it's an exciting time of the year to be a part of Ohio high school sports.
All right, well, we're going to talk about a couple of those sports tonight, and a couple big interviews we're going to have as well, aren't we?
Yes, we are, Craig. Really looking forward to the interview from last Saturday after Chloe Flora's dominating performance at the Shelby County League meet. Chloe has had a fantastic year, Craig. She's right now ranked as one of the top runners in Ohio, and really looking forward to that interview. We're also, Craig, going to talk live in the studio tonight, Craig, with Lauren Heaton and Molly Kearns, the two senior runners that have led the Raiders to a fantastic regular season. Raiders cross-country girls team currently ranked number 4 in the state of Ohio. Looking forward to a fantastic postseason run. And, Craig, also we're going to go south just a little bit to interview the head coach of the rejuvenated Bradford Railroader football team, Nathan Hyatt. He's done an outstanding job over there. He's got the Railroaders sitting at 4-4, Craig. Last year they didn't even have a team. Really looking forward to talking to Nathan about his success and how he's rejuvenated that Railroader football team.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to that. And speaking of those rejuvenated Bradford Railroaders, they're one of the answers to our poll question tonight, aren't they?
Yes, they are, Craig. We're talking high school football, Craig. There's a lot of 4-4 teams out there, must-win situations the next 2 weeks. But of these 4-4 teams, who has the best chance to make the playoffs? Our poll question, the answer is Bradford, Lehman, Fort Laramie, or Versailles. Which one of them 4 teams has the best chance to make the playoffs?
All right, and if you're watching us on the Fish Report Live page, you can scroll down, help us answer that poll question, and check the results. If you're watching us on NK Telco or Game Face Ohio, Ken and I will have that answer for you at the end of the show. All right, Ken, well, you know, it's Happy Back to the Future Day. Last week we were talking about Back to the Future, and you know my favorite line from that movie?
What's that?
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. And that leads to our next subject, which is cross country. And we're going to start out talking cross country tonight. Last week were all the league meets, conference meets. This week it gets real because if you're not good, you don't move on, do you?
That's right, Craig. But, you know, when you look at the Southwest District, for example, 8 teams move on. We got the boys and the girls running individual single races. So the girls all run at one time, the boys all run at one time in the Division III race, and so forth for Division I and II. Craig, one thing, you know, in the past they used to split it into 2 races. I've seen 3 races. This year it's 1 race, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But to crown 2 district champions in 1 race just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's a little
So you
odd.
can get runner-up in the race Saturday and be district champion. Explain that to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd rather just see 1 district champion.
One district champion. If you want to move 8 teams onto the regional, that's fine. But you don't have 2 district champions when you get second place.
All right, I agree with that. I agree with you. You know, tonight we're going to focus on the girls, though. We're going to talk about girls cross country. Last week we got a chance to watch the Shelby County Athletic League meet over here at Russia, and the girls that finished 1, 2, 3 in that, Chloe Flora, you mentioned at the top of the show, as well as number 2, Molly Kearns, and number 3, Lauren Heaton. Like you said, got a chance to talk to Chloe last week after her race, and she had a lot of interesting things to say. So let's take a look at the video and see what Chloe had to say last Saturday. Fish Report Live here at Russia Park with Bakken senior Chloe Flora, who just won today's SCAL championship. And Chloe, last year you were this year's run of the year. You were last year's run of the year. Last year you ran a 1937. Today you're running 1821. What's changed from last year to this year that you're running so much faster?
I think just everything's came together, like eating right, and a lot of summer training, like lifting and doing extra workouts in the morning, even like during season and stuff. Just a lot of extra stuff, extra time they put in.
Okay, now next week your Lady Trojans head down to the district meet at Clayton. Last year a little different. They ran 3 races. This year they're running just 1 race. What's your thoughts on that? Is it going to make it any harder? And what's the Lady Trojans going to need to do to move on?
I think it'll be fun. It'll be great. A lot of people to run with and stuff. And I think that's what we need, you know. Like the girls, I think they do pretty good under pressure. And I think that is a lot of pressure, like all those people. So I think we'll excel in it. I think we'll do good.
All right, well, let's talk about your individual race strategy a little bit. You know, next week, do you go for another PR? Do you hold back a little bit, maybe looking forward to the Troy Regional? How are you going to approach this race?
I'm definitely looking forward to regionals. Regionals is always fun. But we're trying to go out fast my first mile because it's going to be like how it is at state. We're going to go out fast. So just practicing that and not getting freaked out and just like mentally resetting like in the first half, like when it gets really hard, just like mentally resetting and stuff and just keep pushing. So.
All right, and you made a big decision this week. You decided you were going to the University of Dayton. When did you actually make that decision to go to Dayton to run track and cross country both? And what do you like about Dayton?
Dayton's awesome. I went on a visit there Sunday to Monday, and Monday night I came back. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. And Dad's like, well, give it 24 hours. So gave it 24 hours, and the next day I called Coach Hobman and I told her or whatever. And Dayton's just awesome, and it'll be fun running with Emily. And yeah, I'm just excited.
All right, well, congratulations, Chloe.
Thank you.
All right, and that was Bakken senior Chloe Flora. And, of course, the Emily she was talking about is Russia alum last year, a senior, Emily Borchers, who's running at UD right now. Chloe will be running with her as well. Now, 2 other seniors they talked about that finished second and third in that Shelby County race were Lauren Heaton and Molly Kearns. Molly second, Lauren third. They are out in Studio R right now with Ken, so let's go check in with Ken and listen to his interview with those 2 girls.
Thanks, Craig. We're here in Studio R tonight, live with 2 Russia Raiders, Molly Kearns and Lauren Heaton. They lead the Russia Raiders cross-country team into the postseason. They're currently ranked number 4 in the state of Ohio, looking for a successful postseason run. Molly and Lauren, welcome to Fish Report.
Thanks, Ken. Thank you.
Molly, let's start with you. You've been in 4 consecutive Shelby County League championship teams for the Raiders in cross-country. You've actually won, the Raiders have won 9 of the last 10. How does this rank on your list of accomplishments?
It's always a team goal at the beginning of the season to be league champs, and it's just a lot of fun to keep the tradition going because a lot of great runners have been a part of it, and to continue the tradition is always fun.
Lauren, you and Molly have been cross-country teammates for 4 years. First team All Shelby County League, both of you. Your cross-country running days date back to the junior high days. How has cross-country bonded the friendship between Lauren and Molly?
You know, me and Molly have been best friends since last time I could remember, but, you know, cross-country just really keeps us going, and, you know, doing all the accomplishments we have, it's a great friendship.
Molly, let's talk about the district tournament coming up this weekend. 8 teams advance to the regional, which will be one of the toughest regionals in Ohio and Troy, as it usually is. It's a safe bet to say our Raiders are a good chance to get top 8 this weekend. What motivates you girls to practice hard and continue moving forward?
Coming off a strong league meet, we always have a lot of confidence, and we're excited for the postseason. And we just try and look at it 1 week at a time, even if in the back of our minds we know we can make it. It's just the mentality of running, knowing it could be your last race, pushes you even farther, and just hopefully come out and get another district championship would be a lot of fun.
Lauren, let's talk a little bit about the individual racing between you and Molly. The 2 of you have bounced back and forth a little bit this year, and that's great because it pushes the both of you as far as the team standards go. How has this competition between the 2 of you made you a better runner?
Ken, me and Molly are really competitive, so each race we try to beat each other, but as teamwork, we just try to stay as close together as possible because that way, we'll have a better race.
Molly, let's another question for you. You and Lauren have been the team leaders all season, but let's talk about the rest of the Lady Raider team. It obviously takes 5 girls to score. You run 7 in all the meets. Who are the other Lady Raiders accomplishing a lot for the team this year?
Yeah, we have a couple in every grade. We're kind of a mixed group. 2 juniors and Shay Gubo, and then RG Garrity is our first alternate. And then sophomores, we have Becky Pinchot and Megan Frazier. And then even some freshmen, we have Claire Meyer and Anna Fissinger helping out the team.
Lauren, Molly just mentioned the success of the underclassmen on the Russia cross country team. A few years back, you and Molly were underclassmen yourselves. You ran with some pretty successful runners a few years back. How did the success of those runners and what they taught you help you become a better leader and a better runner?
Our past teammates have taught us a lot of things, and one of them was to just have fun because, we're already seniors and it's our high school's almost gone. So, just having fun because practices aren't always the easiest thing, and, and then another thing is just to stay motivated and, work hard because when you run every weekend, your results will start to pay off in these last few weeks of the cross-country season.
Girls, it won't be long and you'll both be graduating from Russia School. It's hard to believe, but time flies pretty quick. College plans, future plans, running plans. Molly, let's start with you.
Yeah, I definitely want to pursue running in college and continue that because it's been a great part of my high school, and I just love the team aspect of it. But academics is also really important to me, and I want to major in biomedical engineering, so I'm going to go where that major is strong at the school, but hopefully I can run there as well.
Lauren?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to pursue collegiate running. I'm still deciding between 2 schools yet, so we'll figure that hopefully out here in a few weeks.
All right, well, listen, you two have both been major success stories at Russia School in cross country, track and field as well. And wish you the best of luck in your future, and especially best of luck this coming weekend and the next couple weeks into the postseason. And good luck to the Raider cross country team.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, and thanks for that, Ken, and thanks, Molly, and thanks, Lauren. We're going to take a short commercial break, but stay right there because when we come back, we're going to talk some football, including that big interview with Bradford coach Nathan Hyatt.
Open stage at the Leaving Van. Music starts at 8 o'clock. You can find us here every Wednesday night. It's usually the same cats every week, but I can't tell you all their names. Teacher cat and a junkie, all waiting for time to play. Everybody here's got something that we're trying to leave behind. We're all a little broken, looking for a place to hide. Get no answers, don't ask any questions. We're all here just looking for a high. Yeah, we're all beautifully broken here tonight.
All right, welcome back to the second half of Fish Report Live. Before the break, we were talking some girls cross country, and Ken, nice interview there.
Thanks, Craig. It was really nice going out to Studio R. We don't get to use that studio too often, and we're usually back here in Studio F. But we'll have to get some more live guests out there every once in a while. It's kind of fun out there.
Yeah, good time. All right, well, listen, we've been talking some football off and on this season. We talked some MAC football several weeks ago with the Minster quarterback Josh Nixon over there. A few weeks ago, we talked GWAC football with Sydney coach Adam Dunges. Tonight we're going to talk a little CCC football. We're going to talk about the Bradford Railroaders, but Bradford isn't exactly playing a CCC schedule right now, are they?
No, they're not, Craig. Bradford did not have a team last year. They had some issues there, and so no team last year. Therefore, they could not schedule a CCC schedule this year. So they are technically in the CCC, however, they're not playing the other teams. They've loaded their schedule up, though, with some very competitive teams, Craig. And it's great to see Bradford back out there on the gridiron, and really looking forward to their head coach tonight to explain how his success is carrying over to that Bradford community.
Yeah, they've been playing very well of late. They're actually sitting at 4-4 right now. I believe won 4 of their last 5 games, and they're doing it under a rookie coach, I guess you call him, Nathan Hyatt. He's actually been an assistant coach, I believe, for the last 15 years before coming to Bradford. Was over there at a couple other schools, and we're happy to have him live on the phone right now. Coach Hyatt, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. How are you this evening? Thanks for having me.
All right, well, listen, we just mentioned that last year Bradford didn't have a varsity team, and I believe you only had, from what I read, about 17 kids in the program last year, but this year you've got close to 30. So let me ask you, how did you turn those numbers around to field a varsity team this year?
Well, actually, we have 34 of the 58 boys in the high school are now playing varsity football this year. So we're up to 34. We've also had 18 in our junior high this year. So we had 17 kids playing football, grades 7 through 12 last year. This year, we're at 52. The big thing was building a culture and an environment that the kids wanted to be a part of. Going out there, talking to them. We basically made personal contact with every boy in that school. We did some things, and we talked about some things as a staff and our older players and our 17 players that were back from last year were very committed and, really promoted a message and a culture that other kids wanted to be a part of. And then, once the ball started rolling, momentum got on our side.
All right, Coach. Well, listen, you started out the season as maybe some others outside the program might have expected. You lost your first 3 games, but in Week 4, you beat Hillcrest, which was the Railroaders' first varsity football win since October 26, 2012. Tell me, what was the emotion on the field and the locker room like that night after that win?
Oh, it was a great night. You think of those players, and especially those seniors, the roller coaster that they had been through. In 2012 as freshmen, they were a part of a playoff football team. 2013 they don't win a game, and then 2014 they're playing on Saturday mornings. There was a lot of emotion, especially from those seniors. Each one of the seniors talked for a few minutes, explaining to the younger players what that had meant to them. For our younger players, our juniors and under, they had never won a Friday night football game before. That was a very big, it was more of an emotional and mental hurdle for us than physical hurdle, if that makes sense, getting that first one underneath our belt. It meant a lot to those players. It meant a lot to us coaches. It meant a lot to me personally, and it meant a lot to our community.
Coach, hi, this is Ken. Starting with that win against Hillcrest, since then you've won 4 of your last 5. A couple Saturdays ago, Coach, I was in the train depot having a morning cup of coffee right there on Main Street in Bradford. Heard a little whispering about playoffs. Are they talking playoffs, and what's it going to take in Bradford?
Well, I don't know what the people outside of our football team are talking about. They might be talking playoffs. We're just talking about getting better every day. And our kids have done a great job with that. And we're still continuing, to see growth. We saw some growth in our passing game today, to me, in practice, which was really exciting. And, we've talked about this. You get better at practice. You got to get better at practice before it shows up on Friday night. And we're getting better. We're doing well with that. We got 2 tough opponents ahead of us, and we're inside our football team, we're not worrying about that or looking at that at all.
Coach, let's talk about the game Friday night, Fairview. Big game. It's very important, obviously, towards this playoff run. But again, like you said, it's just important to go out and get it Friday night. Number one, where is Fairview, and what do you know about their team?
Yeah, we're actually going up there on Saturday at 7, and they're just south of Defiance by about 15 miles, 15 minutes, I believe, if memory serves me correct. I used to go up there some. Don't let their record fool you. They've played some really good football teams this year. They've played some good competition. You look at the teams they've played, there's a lot of 6-2, 7-1, and even an 8-0 in there. They have a very fine running back who they like to get the ball to. They like to throw it to him. They like to obviously run it with him. I would too if I had that kid. They've got 2 really good defensive tackles. And this is a program that's had a lot of success lately. So you can tell they're a well-coached football team. They do things the right way. And it's going to be another challenge for us. It's another opportunity for us to go out there and to show people the direction we're heading in and how much better we're getting.
Coach, I realize your main focus is still this Saturday night's game, the rest of this season. But just looking ahead a little bit to Bradford football, CCC next year, the schedule. This year you're not playing any of those teams. Next year, what's it look like? What's the forecast for that schedule next year? And Fort Loramie Redskins, the Shelby County team over here, I believe are joining the CCC next year. Is that correct?
I got to be honest. I don't know exactly what's going on with Fort Loramie. I've heard that they are. We're focused in on Bradford football. We're going to be out of the CCC for one more year, so we'll be independent. We've got 10 games already all lined up for next season. So we're going to be doing some traveling, and some people are going to be traveling to us again. But then in the 2017, we're going to be back in the CCC and ready to go. And I know the conference will be splitting us into 2 divisions at that point in time for football. And, when 2017 gets here, we'll be ready for that.
All right, Coach, listen, hey, one more question. And, like a lot of high schools, football's king. And generally, that sport generates the most revenue to pay for itself, and a lot of times other sports that don't generate ticket sales. Because you didn't play a varsity schedule last year, have you felt any financial strain with your program, and how have you been able to cope with that?
Well, we've had to do a lot of fundraising this year, and we've had some people step up to the plate for us and help us out. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's been difficult. So, if you guys want to get out your checkbook and go ahead and send a check down to Bradford football or the boosters, you're more than welcome to. We take cash checks. We might even be able to get credit cards to you guys too. So yeah, it's been difficult. It's been harder. It's challenges that have laid before us, but listen, when you go out there on Friday nights, it's 100 yards, it's about 53 yards wide. We got helmets, they got helmets, we don't let that stuff bother or affect us. We just deal with what we have and we go forward.
Coach, listen, for Ken and Craig and I in the Fish Report, good luck to your Railroaders the rest of the year. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to get on our show tonight. And, you've done a great job with that program. Really proud of what you've done over there, not only with the football program, but with the kids in general at Bradford, and giving them that extracurricular activity to look forward to on Friday and Saturday nights. You're doing a great job, Coach, and keep it up.
Well, guys, thank you very much for the kind words, and I'll be willing to talk to you anytime.
All right,
thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, that was the head coach of the Bradford Railroad, Nathan Hyatt, and like you said, best of luck to them on Saturday night. I want to go back to the sound room and talk to Heavy D. And, Heavy D, occasionally schools go through that, especially small schools, where they can't field a varsity team. We see it around here sometimes in golf. We see it in softball. And even our own Russia Raiders are experiencing that this year in girls basketball. Bradford plays Division VII football. Sometimes you just can't do it all, can you?
Yeah, you've got kids that, to field productive teams, you got kids playing 2 and 3 sports a year, and with the extracurricular all-around sports with AAU and JO volleyball, it's difficult for kids to focus on sports. So they're playing 2 and 3 sports a year. And this year, the Lady Raiders, from a basketball perspective, they're going to go into the season without a JV team. They've got about 10 girls playing varsity basketball, and it's kind of a unique thing for Russia. We've usually been able to field a varsity, always been able to field a varsity and a JV team, and sometimes a freshman team. So not having a JV girls basketball team is something unique. Now, I had the opportunity tonight to go to the 5th grade girls practice, and I can say that we're trying to rebuild the program at a 5th grade level, and I'm the head coach for the 5th grade girls, and looking forward to about 4 or 5 years down the road at the Fish Report and talking about Russia basketball again. But yeah, it's a unique situation for us this year, and I can understand the girls' viewpoint. They've got different commitments with college and education and studies, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's it's good to hear we've got some talent coming down the pipeline at least.
I think it's good to hear we got a good guy running the program down there at the 5th grade level.
We'll see about that. Yeah.
All right. Well, while we're back in the sound room, TK, I want to go to you. You know, we've talked some cross country, we've talked some football tonight. Let's talk a little volleyball. I know sectional Saturdays coming up. Some games were played tonight, last night. Games coming up tomorrow night. What's the brackets looking like right now?
Well, like you said, Craig, a lot of volleyball going on, all sorts of teams all over the place. Start looking at some of the brackets here. Jackson Center has moved on as we expected with two 3-0 wins there, and they'll take on Houston this Saturday. So Houston took out Russia last night. So our Raiders bow out after beating Newton. So that's all lined up for 4 o'clock Saturday there. We go look at another SCAL team in Fairlawn. They're in that Troy 2 group. They will be playing against Southeastern on Saturday at 5:30. So Fairlawn looking pretty good right now as we expected, and that'll be a nice matchup with the Southeastern club there. Also looking at our last D4 team in the Fairlawn or Fort Laramie going against Riverside also Saturday at 3 o'clock. So another good matchup there. Look for Fort Laramie to continue to move on in that one. I think we've got Anna in the D4, or D3. So they'll be playing against Northeastern coming up also Saturday. As you said, a big day. Miami East in there, and then Versailles as well to round out some of the other local teams. So, yeah, still a lot of volleyball going on, but a lot of people are going to find the end of the road on Saturday, and we'll start to shake out to get to the cream of the crop and some really good volleyball.
All right, exciting time of the year. We got to talking cross country, talking football teams getting ready to get in playoff position here, and we got volleyball tournament going on. So a lot going on tonight.
A lot of action, Craig. Like TK said there with the volleyball, a lot of sectional finals coming up. District cross country this weekend. Football playoffs starting to take shape. So a lot of action, and that keeps Fish Report moving, doesn't it?
That's right, sure does. All right, well, Ken, we got one more thing to get to, and that is tonight's poll question. TK can check the telemetrics while you tell the viewers the poll question again.
Craig, speaking of high school football, a lot of 4-4 teams out there right now on the map. And which of those 4-4 teams, which one of these 4-4 teams has the best possibility of making the playoffs? Is it the Bradford Railroaders, who we just spoke about a few minutes ago, the Lehman Cavaliers, the Redskins of Fort Laramie, or the Tigers from Versailles? Which one of those teams has the best possibility to make the playoffs? TK, what's the telemetrics say?
Well, just checked them out and rebooted everything here. Our fans tonight that voted want Bradford. 58% are saying Bradford's going to move on. Lehman and Laramie get 17%, and Versailles is trailing in last place. So the fans want Bradford Railroaders to move on into the playoffs.
Go Roaders.
Interesting there, Craig. And, Bradford's got a great chance. Like I said, a lot of talk going over there at the Rotor Country about the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. Versailles, I agree, going to have a tough road to hoe to get, everybody at 4-4 is going to need a couple wins, Craig. So we'll see what happens.
Just win the rest of your games and see what happens.
That's right.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I do want to say special thanks to our guests, Chloe Flora, Molly Kearns, Lauren Heaton, and Coach Nathan Hyatt over there at Bradford. Ken and I and the crew will all be back again next week, same time, same place. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and good night, everyone.
Hanging at the fish report. 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 For your latest news in high school sports. sports, tune in to the Fish Report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull when you tune in to the Fish Report. Hanging at the